All right.
Hey.
I didn't mean to push live just quite yet, but I guess we're starting because that's how we do here. Hello, everyone. This is my friend Becca.
Hi.
And she is my model for the day because we are going to talk to you guys about eyebrows. I had a dear friend ask me what she could do about brows because, as many of you guys might know, as we get older, we get hair in all the places we don't want, and hair growth seems to stop in all the places we do want. And so if you accidentally or intentionally overplucked your brows at some point in your life, you might find that they're not growing back no more. So I want to show you a couple of different things for making your brows look fuller, making them look darker. Because if you've seen any of the magazines and the trends right now, not the devil brows and the unibrows and the squiggly brows and the braided brows, but the full natural looking kind of wilder brows, then I've got some tips and tricks for you. So first off, let's say you got a decent brow, but you maybe just want to fill it in a little bit more. It's looking a little bit sparse. The easiest way to do that, I find, is with a brow pencil. I love ours because it's got this kind of spoolie doohickey thing on the end, and then it's a really narrow point, which I love. It's a little different than eyeliner. The pigment comes out a little bit different because it's your brows. It's not, eyeliner. And so what you would do in that case, the easiest way to do it is to brush your brows down, okay? And then take your brow pencil and you're just gonna line that top with little dashes across. And then you're gonna brush them up like that, and then do the same on that bottom of your brow line. And then when you're done, you kind of brush them into place how you'd like them. And if you need a little bit more filling in, tiny little dashes, just like hair-like strokes to fill it in. Quick, simple, easy. Now, if you happen to have brows that require a little bit more work, actually, let's say a lot more work. There is brow stencils. I'm going to show you what these look like. And these can be great because sometimes it can be hard to judge where you want your brows to go. An easy guide is if you take something like this and you kind of hold it to the inside of your nose and go straight, boom. That's where you kind of want your brows to end. Then if you take it to the side of your nose across the pupil of your eye, that part is kind of where you want your arch to be. And then if you take it to the outer corner of your eye and the edge of your nose, that's where you want your brow to end. So that's a good way to give you a guideline. But if you're still having a hard time, what you can do is grab some brow stencils. You see this? And it's pretty cool because they have different shapes and widths, but it gives you an idea. And then you just take your stencil. You would hold it up to your face like this, to your brow. And then you could either use your line side of this to sort of just kind of make little dots or dashes to give you an idea of where it goes. Or if you've got a brow palette, which if you're really working on brows, a brow palette is essential. You're not going to get away with just the pencil. You would take your brow palette and grab your lighter shade and outline that stencil. Then you can take the stencil off. And then you can follow the next set of steps that I'm going to give you to fill in your brow. So let's say you don't need that stencil. You grab your brow palette. I've got Younique's Brow Obsession palette, and you're going to need a brow brush. This is the Brow Artisan brush, and I love this because it's double-sided, really flat, tapered edges. One's a flat face, and the other's angled. So to do your brows, let me show you what comes in here real quick. So you're going to have two shades. Usually a lighter and a darker, and this is because our hair tends to be darker on the outside of our brow, sometimes a little bit lighter in here, so it gives you something to play with, and it makes it look much more natural when you're working with two colors. You've got a setting wax, and this has two different highlighters, a matte highlighter and one that's a little bit more shimmery, and you use that to help define your brow kind of underneath the second half of your brow and on your brow bone. So what I like to do, if you're looking for a look that's a little bit more young, fresh, that kind of natural looking brow that's not super set in place, this is what you do. You take the spoolie end of your brow pencil and you kind of roll it into your wax a little bit, because that setting wax is what helps keep the hair in place. And you brush those brow hairs kind of out and up. And that's what gets that kind of look you've been seeing with all the youngins with their wild brows. And there's something about it that just makes the face look younger and kind of gives you like an instant eye lift when you've got like a fuller kind of wild brow. So the wax helps to set it in place. Then I like to take, you can take either side. I prefer the angled side, and you can take it into the color. I sometimes get a little bit of wax on there, and you do little dashes, just like little hair strokes. And you can start, if you want, at the top, if you're looking to sort of outline it, but just even within little kind of like hair strokes, basically. The wax helps to create that kind of strokey effect without it being completely filled in. Like that. And even when you've got pretty full brows, it's amazing what just adding a little bit of color to it and making it a little bit more intense will do. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
And then, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, people are like,
I
oh, you
thought
have great brows.
pretty dark.
And I'm like,
is.
no, but you know, a little something.
Yeah.
And then you can take the highlighter. And sometimes it takes a little getting used to. I always feel like they're overdone, and other people are like, oh my God, your brows look amazing. Because they add something about the contrast between your skin and the hair. It just makes it pop. And so to apply the highlighting, you just go underneath your brow there, and you work your way down to the brow bone. And that just, again, helps to define it. Like that. And we'll do the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also, instead of using the wax on the spoolie side of your eyebrow pencil, you can just go ahead and dip a little bit of the brush in the wax like so. Then grab some of that color. And then just do the strokes yourself like this. And naturally the hairs sort of back here tend to be a little bit darker. And sometimes people make the mistake of going too dark right there. But that's where we have less hair, and it is always a little bit more sparse. So you can go in with the lighter shade there and make the little hair strokes. Just like that. And each brow palette, comes with 2 different shades, which is great because it allows you to play around a little bit to see what's your comfort zone. And there you go.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
and then in this case, you can use I use the matte one on this side. It looks pink, but it doesn't come off super, super pink, but it's just a nice like matte kind of highlighter, which might be if you don't feel like going with something shimmery. Look good.
Yeah, nice.
So it's pretty simple. This is the Brow Obsession palette. It comes with the setting wax, 2 brow shades, and then 2 highlighting shades. One that's matte and one that has a shimmer finish. I use it with the Brow Artisan brush, which got the 2 flat tapered edges, one angled and one flat, to be able to apply the color and the wax. And for my day-to-day, and sometimes along with this, I use the brow pencil and the spoolie end, which really helps to kind of shape your brows and get those hairs in place. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much. Thank you, Becca, for being my model.
Yes,
and
anytime.
If you guys have any questions, comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.